All right, well, former President Trump was back in court today for his ongoing civil fraud trial in New York City. The former president spoke with reporters throughout the day. He was even asked if he was going to speak with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Here's part of his response.
We'll see what's happening. It's a terrible thing that happened with Israel. Should have never happened, and it would have never happened.
Kurt, it feels like some of this, from what we've heard out of the former president over the last couple of days, is a bit of cleanup for the comments. You know, Hezbollah is, quote, very smart. They're all very smart. Yeah, this was one of the first times that I can remember where almost universally everybody was like, that's not the right thing to say there. You don't usually see, particularly from Republicans, frankly, Republicans being critical of anything that Donald Trump says because they're always terrified of him. And in this case, he actually got some friendly fire. He actually got called out for it. And his reaction since and his rhetoric since then has just been very much kind of towing really the country line on this at this point. I mean, this is one of those things where it shouldn't be and hasn't been overtly partisan. The response that you see from all corners is, yeah, what's going on is an atrocity. This is bad. This is terrorism. This has to stop. There needs to be, intervention here. So when Trump, for the first time in a while, steps so far outside the mainstream of where almost everybody universally is and where certainly public opinion is, like what you're seeing since then is just cleanup. Kara, we heard from the former president yesterday. He was in Iowa. He gave a speech, and again, there was a lot of Israel stuff in there. Not that he wouldn't talk about it anyways, but it just feels like it's a response. Here's part of his plan. He said he wants to send ICE agents to pro-jihadist rallies. He wants to deny those with extremist ideologies entry into the U.S., revoke visas, and reinstate travel bans. Well, I've always said the border crisis, it's a national security imperative. You know, we know that special interest groups, so many gotaways are pouring through our open border right now, and we don't know what their intentions are. We don't know who they are. We do know they're from countries that are not friendly to the United States of America. You know, I spent the first half of my career as a counterterrorism intelligence officer, and this kind of thing, as I've said before, the foreign Islamic extremism is alive and well. And when you have an open border, you have a national security crisis. And if Trump wants to shore that up, that's a good thing. Now, I would caution and think what we've seen in the past 2 years is the turning inward of the national security apparatus onto American citizens, conservatives in particular. That's what people talk about when we say the woke weaponization of these agencies. So we've seen it in big tech as well. I worked for Facebook, and it's a big problem. I went there for counterterrorism analysis, and now we're starting to see a creep of redressing what they call the bias towards foreign Islamic terrorism. So I think we have to be careful when we talk about pushing agencies and frankly, who they target. What about those Trump comments? But this is the level of complexity with which Trump approaches all foreign policy. This is what he said. This person's an idiot. This person's smart. He said it about Putin. He said it about Kim Jong-un. I mean, that's what you're looking at. That's how he approaches foreign policy. He doesn't probably really care about the history all that much or about the geopolitics. It's just that now it's extremely salient because we have a major war that, yes, some people, especially in the Republican Party, had concerns about in 2021 when these conflicts initially flared up in May and we were withdrawing from Afghanistan. But now people are looking at Trump's comments and saying, maybe that's not who I want to be in control of the U.S. military. You know, the visual, too, is interesting. We talked about pictures being worth 1,000 words. Think about this. Trump is talking from a courthouse. Later on, the president will be speaking from Israel. All right.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.